What's going on, guys? Jay the Black here. Salute to everyone that's tuning in. Make sure y'all like this video, hype in, and share it because I'm going to talk about Brittany Renner again. You know, I covered Brittany Renner recently breaking up with her boyfriend, and she had became a born-again Christian almost, right? I believe she even admitted to being baptized, I believe. And this was right after she had her Islam journey, her journey to being a Muslim woman while she was dating Kevin Gates. And now she is apparently no longer religious. Now, mind you, when she had the born again Christian, woman phase, because that's what she's calling it now, she was with this guy here. She was with this guy, Rashad. This was just earlier this year. And then you notice that they were doing podcasts together, and then it just stopped, right? And then I noticed that back in May, she started to make a transition back to the old Brittany. She changed the way she changed her hair or whatever wig she was wearing to let everybody know that the old Brittany Renner is back. And now she's going live. Now she's a kick streamer. Did you know that? She's a kick streamer now. That's where all the heifers go, because they want to do what they see men do, right? So she's streaming there, right? And she's talking about how she needed both the Muslim and Christian faiths to for structure, but now she's single. This particular female cannot hold a relationship, and I've said this over and over. A lot of women of today don't know how to be in a relationship. They're very confused. Brittany Renner is a very confused heifer, okay? She's very confused. She doesn't know what she wants. She's constantly, she knows that she's for the streets. She knows that she has slur tendencies, but I think over the recent years, she's been fighting against it because of what happened with PJ Washington. Not only the criticism of the relationship, but the fallout from it. Her becoming a mother, I think she tried to pretend to be a more socially conservative woman, but in reality, that's not who she is. Brittany Renner is who she is, okay? I remember Brittany Renner. I remember coming across her content for the first time back in 2015. I might have used her picture in a thumbnail. That's when she was coming out of college. She was this fitness chick. She led the new look of the Instagram girl. Cause before then, girls on Instagram weren't really going above and beyond to thirst trap. But after about 2015, you started to see women call themselves fitness models, quote unquote. They will be in gym wear and they would pose and they would post pictures from that, right? She was a part of that incoming generation of females online. And she was so recognized that she started to date rappers and professional athletes, right? I'm giving y'all this background just to show y'all where she was. And then she ended up writing a book about it couple of years later, and I think that really damaged her because these guys could no longer trust her. They couldn't. And then a couple of years after that, she ends up in a relationship with PJ Washington. That falls apart. Now, mind you, PJ Washington is younger than her, might be close to 5 years younger than her. And it's funny how he didn't marry her, but he married another female, right? So Brittany Renner since then has been trying to, I guess, gain some sort of reputation rebuild. So she went to Kevin Gates. Then that flopped. And then she went over to Rashad. Now she went from being a Muslim woman. Now she's a Christian woman again. And now she's going to tell you in this video why she's neither anymore, which doesn't shock me because if women truly, honestly, I think women pretend to be Christian for the most part. You got women I see women who claim to be Muslims, but they do the absolute most out here. So let's get into this video.
Or was that a phase? Huh. No, I'm not on practice anymore. And this was my way of thinking too. I posted a video like a year ago where I said, it got like 20 million views, where it was talking about I had to wear cornrows to fit in a hijab, and I'm no longer interested in shrinking myself. Thank you so much. Thank you. And my logic was that was me explaining, okay, like I'm not doing this anymore. But granted, there are a lot of Muslims that do not wear a hijab. Like, I don't know.
You see, if she was actually genuine, she would understand that it goes beyond wearing a hijab. That's why I tell y'all, man, you'd be surprised at what women are actually claim to be Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Because they love to talk about how, you know, it's the women who claim to be Christians who do the most. Nah, it's the women who claim to be Muslims who be out here doing the absolute most. But I think Brittany was cosplaying, and what happens when you cosplay, you put on a costume, right? Instead of you just embracing the religion, you wear costumes in order to cosplay, and that's what she was doing. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when you go to the mosque, people are going to be, from my experience, they're going to definitely be in hijabs. But I guess that's just where, too, there were some things I'm just like, I don't feel like explaining myself all the way. Because I had a lot of different experiences when I was Muslim that, to me, I was like, I don't know, this is for me.
Because of how, you know, women are supposed to portray themselves in public and, you know, certain things. And I think there are women who fight against that. But like I said, there are women who will, you'll see them in hijab, then you'll see them twerking. So that's what you be seeing out here. You know, I think just look around, you know, you'd be surprised. But I think ultimately she stopped practicing it because she was doing it for a man. She was doing it for Kevin Gates. She was doing it to impress him. Just like her becoming a born again Christian when she was trying to appease Rashad, even though she was trying to show a different, a religious side of herself. But I think a lot of women don't really embrace religion these days, because if they actually read the Bible, they'll see that a lot of their behaviors are frowned upon. And that is why a lot of them will either try to change the meanings or pretend like it's not there. That's why they go to certain churches, because certain churches, they have certain pastors who pick and choose things in the Bible to suit their audience, because they don't want to tell them the actual truth.
Are you still Muslim?
Yeah. Let me move on. I think this is the second video.
I was Muslim for like 10 months. Married for 52 days. Came out of my hijab that last summer. And I actually got baptized in March. I really needed that structure when I was rebuilding my life. I needed that protection. And even with wearing a hijab, I felt like it cloaked me. Like I felt almost invisible. Like when I would wear a hijab in public, it's like, I was like, am I Casper? Can anybody see me here? Hello? So I just felt like being wrapped up, and also knowing that there is so much more to me than my body. But the body's, you know what I'm saying? The hair, all these things that make me me.
Again, they're never going to give up the opportunity for attention, because she knows, listen, Brittany Renner keeps herself in really good shape. She really does. And she wants to show it off. That's the thing about women these days. If they have a nice body, they're going to want to show it off. And she didn't want to stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. And I think she didn't want to feel guilty either. Right?
It's just not like solely relying on that anymore, but just knowing that like I can outwardly be myself. And I was Muslim for like 10 months. I don't have to shame myself for having a fat ass, for wanting to wear my hair out. And yeah, so I just feel like there were things, and whether it was Christianity or being Muslim, like that to me just don't really resonate. I'm like, where's the middle? And the middle is like right where I'm at. It's like, of course I believe in God, but to say that I'm a Christian or I'm a Muslim or this, no. Babe, I will go be 17 other religions. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I'm gonna continuously try things, and whatever works for me is what works for me. And what works for me today might not work for me tomorrow. I think that's where I give myself a pat on the back, because a lot of people do not have the courage to just live in their truth. And I live in my truth in a very public way through every phase of my life. And I don't apologize for it. I don't have to shame.
So what she's saying is that she's confused. That's what we have here. We have a confused woman. A lot of these women of today are confused. That's why you can't listen to what they're saying. Look at their actions. Their actions don't match what they're saying. You know that there's some BS there. This is the nature of women these days. Women are very confused. And because of their confusion, they will claim things, not claim things, claim things, not claim things, because they don't want the accountability that comes with it. Women will do whatever it takes to avoid accountability. They will flip-flop from religions to avoid accountability. Listen, you either believe or you don't. You as a woman don't have to wear hijab to be a Muslim woman, but I just feel like for her saying, again, she was just Christian like earlier this year. So you gotta look at a woman's actions. These women will say one thing and do another. That's why Brittany's single now. That's why men can't handle being in a relationship with her. Not because they can't handle her, because they can't handle the non-accountability. So let me know in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on all my social media platforms. I'll see y'all next.